Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Telling It Like It Is. My name is Jade Alberts, the founder of Pure Guidance. We are a purpose before profit group that helps guide small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs. Sharing knowledge and stories is why I started Telling It Like It Is. It is live. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section and we will answer them. If you're watching us on a social media platform after, put them in there. They will get answered. Again, I want to thank Joanne and her team at Sexy AF Spirits. And AF stands for alcohol-free, premium, plant-based, low-cal, sugar-free, botanically infused, perfect for mixing. Their website will be in the comment section shortly, but it's sexyafspirits.com. They are a great local Calgary entrepreneurial business. Again, I'm excited about today's guest because we are going to be talking about how Joanne and her team sell all their products, which is e-commerce. Teara McGinn, the founder of BrightBird Shopify Experts. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Jade. Thanks for having me on here.
I am so excited that obviously e-commerce and it is such an important part of a lot of people's businesses, especially over the last little bit here. And you and I met by another social media platform, LinkedIn, and we were just networking out there. We were able to have a couple conversations, and then of course you got into startup TNT and had a good experience there. So we were able to connect there. So how is that going?
Everything's been going really, really well. One of the working in e-commerce, things have been busy since COVID. Everybody and their cat needs to get on Shopify, I think. So, business has been doing really well and have had the opportunity to connect with so many great businesses. It's been good.
No, absolutely. And I'm excited about talking about this. So why don't I give a brief introduction about your background, and then we will talk e-commerce. So Teara is based right here in Alberta. She has 7 years of experience working on Shopify sites and helping businesses become increasingly successful on the platform. She has plenty of technical experience, but what really gets her results are she speaks in plain language, which is I love. There's no technical jargon. Instead, she used words that business owners are easy to figure out, their challenges, and how to present them in various options to solve those challenges. It's a very common sense kind of way. So as you briefly mentioned before, we had a lot of people have to dive into e-commerce or really focus on it, and why, rather than being something that, oh yeah, we get a little bit of sales, but that's not our main source of revenue because of COVID. So please share how you became an e-commerce Shopify expert.
It's kind of a weird, convoluted path. Way back when, a long time ago, I did take computer tech from SAIT, and so that sort of started off my career in technology. But because of my people skills, I did end up working in human resources for a couple of business companies in Calgary for a few years. So I worked in human resources doing skills training and stuff like that. And then when I started my family, I realized I didn't want to go back to the corporate world. So, I started dusting off my technical skills and seeing what I could do as a freelancer. And I really landed on e-commerce as the place to be. So I got certified as a Shopify expert 7 years ago. And the rest is history. My business has been growing ever since.
So how do you become a Shopify expert? Is it something that they have it on their site? They teach you that? It's kind of like obviously probably an online course?
I don't know what the process is like anymore. I know that they closed the Shopify Experts directory a couple of years ago due to quality control issues, I think. So back in the day, it was a matter of you had to present 5 qualifying projects. So sort of your showcase 5 projects that you were proud of that you built on the Shopify platform, how you problem solved and so on. And it was a pretty rigorous quality control process. So in order to get that certification, it wasn't just an online test. It was actually reviewed by people. So I think that they found they couldn't maintain that as it grew and became bigger. And so they just shut it down rather than having quality issues. So.
Well, I think that's important, right? I mean, if someone's going to be or able to use that term expert, they better be able to understand exactly what Shopify does, rather than somebody taking it, flogging their services, not really knowing what they're doing, not having a history on working and selling on e-commerce. So I really like that platform. Show us what you've done. Show us why you did it. Show us how you've grown it. I mean, obviously that's something that you had obviously great value moving forward to helping your current clientele.
Yeah, absolutely. And at that time, Shopify really, they'd even check in with the merchants that I'd worked with and find out what their experience was like. It was like a job application interview process kind of thing to get that certification. So yeah, definitely something that's helped my business grow. And I appreciate that Shopify has worked that way, trying to make sure they recommend only the best people.
So, I mean, we didn't really talk about this, but maybe you know the numbers. Do you know the percentage that Shopify has for clients compared to some of the others? What's their market share?
Not off the top of my head, because I think it doubles every day. I mean, they're definitely the leading e-commerce platform. And I mean, it followed, WooCommerce would be the second most popular e-commerce platform, WordPress, WooCommerce. So, but Shopify definitely has the lion's share, because it's an open and go kind of experience for businesses. You can get online pretty quick on Shopify with very little technical knowledge. So yeah, they're doing well. And not only is it an open and go kind of platform, but it's got all the bolt-on features. So, a lot of these platforms that are open and go, you can run with on a DIY type of format, you end up hitting the limits of their capability at some point, but that's not the case with Shopify. Like, there's so much you can do with it. It can be as sophisticated or as simple of a platform as you need it to be.
Nice. Again, I'm talking with Teara McGinn, BrightBird Shopify expert. BrightBird.ca is the website. It is in the comment section. Just click on it. You'll take it to find out a little more information there. So yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Shopify is where we send most of our clients. Even during, when COVID started here, obviously some people were like, oh God, again, I don't have it, don't want it, don't need it. But even we had some clients set up, a closed loop system just to use the clients that they currently have to make it easier for them. So, I mean, how do you work with people or what's your process to help people understand and make it simple to use Shopify and e-commerce in general?
Generally, I would say that the highlight of my process is I actually set aside Shopify and technical stuff. And I really talk to the business about what their challenges are, what's working well for them with their current setup, whatever that happens to be, what isn't working well, what are the pain points.
Yeah.
And then, I figure out a couple of different options that'll address those problems. Oftentimes businesses come to me with an idea of what they want already. And I always prefer to back up the bus from that, because I don't know how they arrived at that conclusion. It's like if you go to the doctor, so you've got a physical ailment of some kind, and you go to the doctor and say, I need a prescription for X, Y, Z. A good doctor will say, well, that could be, let's back up the bus and figure out what your symptoms are to make sure that the prescription is actually going to help. So that's a big part of how I work when a business comes to me saying, we want to get on Shopify and we need to do these 3 things. Is I find out why and the history of the business behind that, and make sure that we actually start out with the right end game in mind.
So when you work with them, do a lot of them just say, okay, I think this is easy, as you said, I'm gonna do it myself. If I put it there, clients are gonna come. A lot of them have that mentality?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have seen a YouTube video or an ad or something that told them that this can be a get-rich-quick thing, that if you build it, people will come. And I sure wish that was true, And I mean, there are a few of those stories sprinkled into reality that have happened. But, a lot of the times building it is just the beginning. I do encourage people to DIY their websites as much as they would like to. And so I offer different packages generally, like, if people just want everything taken off their shoulders and put on mine, I can do that. And, there's the associated price. And then I offer guided support as well if they want to try to do a lot of it themselves, but just need to know that they've got a wingman. We present those sorts of options as well. So it's a platform that has a lot of options that way, if people can do sort of a shared responsibility thing or totally hand it off to somebody else.
Well, I like that. I mean, kind of having the full gauntlet of what's going on out there. I mean, sometimes people just, they want to do it themselves. They want to understand it. They don't have the funds to do all of that, but you know what? They want to talk to somebody that that, kind of has been there, done that, so to say, like someone like yourself that can say, oh yeah, you know what? Well, why don't you, here, why don't we spend a couple hours? It won't cost you a lot of money, and we'll be able to walk through some of the problems, and you can ask me any questions that you want. So is that kind of the majority of people you work with, or do a lot of them just come say, you know what, here, Teara, have at her?
I'd say it's about 50-50.
Okay.
I always really encourage businesses, if your if your business is really pivoting around Shopify, you need to know what's going on in your own store. It's really, really important. You need to know where the keys are. You need to know how to fix a pipe if it leaks or something like that, so to speak. So it's really important that they at least know what's going on. So even when they hire me to do the full meal deal for them, I create these training videos using the platform called Loom. And at handoff time, each business gets a folder of videos of how to do different things in their store, how to work with any customizations that I've implemented. And so they have sort of the manual for their store in video format that they can use going forward. And I think that's really key, even when they'd like to just have me take care of everything, that they at least know how to run with it going forward. And then, the businesses that just want to partner, I'm happy to provide that as well. I think even when we do want to do a lot of it ourselves, it's really reassuring to know that there's somebody who's got your back if you get stuck.
No, I like that. And I really think it's important for business owners, especially small business owners, entrepreneurs, or startups, to understand their business inside and out, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's business, whether it's social media, what analytics matter, all of that stuff they should understand, because it's only going to benefit it when they start growing and scaling, when they're going to have to hand this off, whether they hand it, internally, or hire a marketing firm, or hire someone like yourself that they can understand the lingo and understand and not be fleeced by somebody by saying, oh, we're going to do this, yada, 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 that type of a thing.
Yeah, I'd really caution anybody against working with an expert or a freelancer or an agency who doesn't take that time to really understand who they are and what their business is.
Yes.
If there's not somebody willing to take that time, I don't know that they'd be the best business partner. They might have amazing technical expertise and really, really good intentions, but if they don't know where you're coming from and what you're trying to do, you might get a solution that just doesn't quite fit the bill.
No, absolutely. Again, I'm talking with Teara McGinn, the BrightBird Shopify expert, brightbird.ca. Click on their website in the comments section. So what are some common mistakes people make when either maybe let's say assuming, the bill that they will come mentality, or just setting it up in general, or marketing it?
One of the most common mistakes I'll see is they pack their shop full of apps. And so Shopify is sort of a modular system. There's the base platform, the base functionality, and then you can plug in all of these apps, sort of like an iPhone or something like that do cool things. Each of these apps have implications in terms of shop load time. They add code to the site that doesn't always play well with the code of other apps. And so businesses should take a cautious approach to installing apps. There's lots of amazing apps out there. But what happens is oftentimes business owners will, oh, that looks cool, and they'll plug it in and they'll try it out. And then they'll uninstall it without realizing a lot of these apps leave code behind in their theme. When you uninstall the app, it doesn't always clean up after itself on the way out. So a lot of the times I'll see shops that have, 30 apps installed, and that can really be too many. And then even more that have been installed and uninstalled, leaving code remnants behind. So I suggest a cautious approach to app installations. Make sure you check out the app's demo stores so that you're not using your store as the demo store.
Yeah.
Check out those demo stores before you install. Make a copy of your theme, back up your store before you install the app. And then if you decide you don't like the app, you can actually restore your backup from before you installed it so that app's code isn't kicking around anywhere.
Do you see anybody not, market there, or you have any tips on the marketing side of making sure that, people can let their clients know, other than an e-letter or email or something along those lines, any tips along that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see, there's some general misconceptions. Once I get my e-commerce store built, people will be able to find it. I also hear a lot of businesses think once they get online, they'll be able to compete with Amazon. Getting online, yeah. Getting online is a fantastic idea. I mean, clearly I'm all for it. But I do try to make sure that businesses have realistic expectations that getting online can solve some problems, but then also create some other problems. There's a whole other area to try to drive traffic to that website. Social media is obviously a great place. There's some of the clients that I work with, they don't actually do anything with actual advertising. They just really work hard on organically marketing their website via Facebook and Instagram, doing those lives when they get a new shipment of clothing, and they'll actually like model their outfits and stuff on Facebook Live. And doing things like that can be great to drive traffic to a website. But there does need to be some kind of a plan in place in order for a marketing plan in place in order for a website to be successful.
And again, that's something that based on becoming a Shopify, you're able to help them with as well.
Yeah, I'm not a marketing person myself. I do have people on my team that I recommend businesses work with. So, I have a wonderful person named Liz. She's my social media marketer. She can really jazz up people's social media feeds and help them get engagement on their social media. I work with a woman who does ads and another one who specializes in search engine optimization, all the SEO stuff. So, and then there's lots of other people that I recommend businesses work with as well to try to get traffic to that site and get traffic converting.
Nice. So you've been doing this now for about 7 years. I mean, I'm sure you've worked with a lot of different people. I've even referred people to you that have spoke extremely highly of you. So I can honestly say that, yes, you sat there, you helped them, you customized their own little plan for what they needed and make some tweaks to improve their site. So I always love it when I can say that, I have gotten awesome feedback from a handful of people that you've worked with. So that's great. Yay.
Awesome.
So do you have a couple examples, or what types of things have you done or seen that have, helped take some businesses to the next level?
One of the favorite things, moving from that basic DIY design, a lot of shops, when they get going, they use a free theme from Shopify and they set it up themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think, you got to get started somewhere, and I'd rather have businesses get started with something rather than trying to have it be perfect and stay stuck. But yeah, taking a shot from that DIY free theme to the next level of a designed layout with professionally designed graphics and logos and things like that can really help take them to the next level. Also looking at one thing that I've seen be enormously successful lately is VIP programs on Shopify. So a lot of the times we think of rewards programs and stuff being like these points-based things. You can install an app that awards customers points for leaving reviews and awards them points for their purchases and stuff like that. And then down the road, they can cash in their points. But what I'm actually seeing be a lot more successful is a membership program where a customer buys a membership and then gets certain perks as a result of buying that membership. And I'm really seeing these things take off on Shopify sites. It's kind of crazy. I think that there's a psychological hook that happens when somebody buys a membership, that they've made an investment and they really want to get a return on that investment. So they'll become a repeat customer because they've made that investment in a membership, and it has more holding power than what a points-based program does. So I've implemented VIP programs probably on 30 different businesses in the past year. And it's really, really interesting to see what they do in terms of driving revenue and driving repeat customers.
That is interesting. I kind of want to just dive into that a little bit. I mean, I like buying my stuff at certain places, right? I'm kind of a creature of habit. I'm sure most people are, right? I got something I like, and that's where I'm getting it. That's who I want to do it. That's who I want to make it. Doesn't matter if it's for our sports teams or whatever. So, do these memberships, like, does it matter if is it a monthly subscription, or is it like a one-time type thing that they get with it, or what type of subscriptions are you seeing?
Yeah, so we set them up as an annual membership. Okay. And generally, I look at a store statistics with the business owner, and we look at whether or not they'd be a good fit to receive benefit from it. So businesses where I would say 50% of shoppers or more have only purchased once, sort of around that 50-50. You've got maybe 50% repeat customers, 50% customers that have only purchased once. Those are sort of the ones that I would say is a sweet spot for benefiting from a program like this. Businesses that obviously sell like one product, it doesn't make sense to have a VIP membership because they're not, there's nothing to buy again. You bought the coffee pot, you don't need another coffee pot. But yeah, businesses where you really want customers to be coming back, and there's a reason why they might be coming back repeatedly, and yet for some reason they aren't. That can be a pretty sweet spot to see benefits from the program.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know if I have any memberships to any of them, or I have seen them. I mean, I guess I'm going to have to maybe start paying more attention. maybe I just don't look on the site and see it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the mother of all membership programs would be Amazon Prime.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a Prime member, so I just lied.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Right, but so that's an example of a membership program, and clearly it's working quite well for them. So yes. It's taking that psychology again and applying it to smaller businesses, and there's not a lot doing it yet. It is relatively new, so I think it has that novelty factor. And a lot of it is the marketing of the VIP membership, exclusive benefits, exclusive perks, that sort of phrasing. And it does really, really well.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to have to pay more attention to some of the online sites and see if I can become a member because, I guess, I hate using Amazon as an example, but I get, right, the free shipping, the preferred stuff, you get their, their TV thingy, whatever,
and it keeps it going back, right?
Yeah. And I can't even tell you, to be quite honest, what I'm paying per month for that or per year. Don't even know.
Yeah, it's about $100 a year.
There you go. Right. And I'm sure we've more than saved for it. I'm sure I'm a numbers guy, so I'm sure I figured it out. It would be worth our while.
Yeah, exactly. Going back, there was a question that asked about things that businesses shouldn't do. And I had meant to add, one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of lately is concerns about site speed. Shopify's installed this speed dashboard in every business owner's admin panel now, and you can see how your site ranks on speed, and oftentimes it's quite low. And I'm seeing businesses spend thousands of dollars with speed optimization experts, and it increases their site speed by like 1.5 seconds or something like that. So I just, raise some caution around that. It is important to be mindful of your site speed, but it isn't the end all be all. I always suggest you talk to your shoppers, talk to people about what their experience of your website is. If customers are telling you your site is slow, definitely pay attention to that. If customers are telling you your site speed is fine, it doesn't matter so much what your site speed score is. That's a computer server's viewpoint of your site. Not going to get into the technical reasons for all of that, but talk to your customers about your site speed and make sure that it is actually a problem before you spend thousands of dollars trying to fix it.
So is that more mobile based or more, kind of laptop based, or is it the same mentality for both?
I would say it's the same mentality for both. I suggest business owners send a text message out to your friends and family and say, I need everybody to go to my website, tell me what device you're using, and give me a site speed score rank on 1 to 3. 1 being site speed is fine, 2 being it's a bit slow, but I could live with it, and 3 being, oh my gosh, it's so slow, I couldn't stand it and had to leave. And just find out what that human experience is. Get people to test it. A couple of people on computers, a couple of people on iPhones, Android phones. And then make your business decisions based on that human experience rather than on the site speed score. I've seen businesses spend a ton of money based on those site speed scores, and it wasn't necessarily required.
That's some really good advice, because people talk about, being slow. I know I'm impatient too, right? It's like, oh God, refresh, let's go. So I get that. I understand that for sure.
Yeah, and speed is important. Not suggesting that it isn't, but again, make sure you make decisions based on the human experience rather than that. Like, for example, if you have a pop-up on your site and you have it set to delay for 15 seconds, so it's not like in your face, in a shopper's face right away, that actually impacts your site speed score and decreases it quite significantly. But it wouldn't be a slow site from a human perspective. It's just a slow site from a server perspective. So, there's important details to know there. And that's been something I'm seeing a lot of lately is businesses have spent a lot of money getting their speed improved when it wasn't even a problem.
Interesting. That's some very good advice. Very good advice. So what's next for BrightBird?
Well, we're building a new platform, and it's a pretty major project that we're taking on. Talking to a lot of businesses that come with us and work with us, the problems are always the same. We build the website, and then of course there's the challenges marketing it. And I often hear business owners say, "Well, we'll get online so we can get back some Amazon market share," but Amazon isn't 1,000 websites for 1,000 sellers. It's one website for thousands of sellers. And so every shop getting their own website doesn't really compete in any way, shape, or form. So we've actually built a platform called Browse that we're onboarding sellers onto. For Calgary, it's called Browse YYC. And the goal is to create that Amazon level convenience, but in a way that benefits local businesses, and use the expertise of me and my team. So we've got myself with the technical skills, Liz with the social media skills, Michelle with the SEO skills, Megan with the ad skills, and get all of this expertise working to market a Browse platform that has sellers all around Calgary on that platform. So that's the goal. And we've built it to connect with Shopify and WooCommerce sites around the city. So if you've already got a Shopify or a WooCommerce site, we can sync in inventory and bring it onto one website where it's searchable, just like on Amazon.
And, so that is something that you have not only here, but you also have it in Edmonton as well, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. It's a bit further behind. In Edmonton and Calgary, we were actually open for shopping, and in Edmonton, we're still looking for our seller partnerships.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. So I've posted Browse YYC and Browse YEG just so you can look at it if in the comment section. So if anybody wants to check them out, that you can. Well, I think that's very interesting because there's been such a support local. So I think that's something that we need.
Yeah, I think, Canadians spent $50 billion on Amazon in 2019. $50 billion. And that's, that number is estimated to have doubled in 2020. And so we think of all of that money leaving Canada. It's like, we kind of need that here.
Yeah, there's no kind of about that. We do need that here.
Right, we need that here. And so it's like, well, customers have spoken about how they want to shop, and they want to go to one website, find what they need, and have it show up at their house. So
absolutely,
if you really want to take back market share from Amazon and return it to local businesses, we need to take that concept and replicate it, because that's how customers want to shop. Clearly, that's how I like to shop. So hence we built that platform, and now we're trying to market it and get them off the ground, and need businesses to join us.
It's very true. The people have spoken, right? Whether we like it or not, Amazon's not going anywhere, and the convenience and COVID has made people a heck of a lot more comfortable buying online. Yeah. They realize that, if I do put my credit card there, it's not going to get stolen. It's not going to be, and all the bad, maybe evil things that they thought about online shopping before. It's pretty much gone. And I'm sure someone has a bad experience here or there, or gets something and they find out that the return policy is pretty easy, kind of like a Costco type thing. So yeah, it's moving forward. I agree with you. It's harder to market your one site rather than having it on something like a Browse YYC. So
yeah, well, and there's efficiencies of scale too. One business with, say, $200 in an ads budget is going to get poorer ad rates compared to a business with $2,000 in ad spend. Your cost per click and cost per impressions are higher the lower your budget is, sadly. So, if we can get a whole bunch of businesses working together to market one platform, we can definitely do a lot more than each business trying to go it alone.
I agree. So I'm always sad. I say this every time that our conversation's coming to an end. I love it, especially the knowledge that you shared today about Shopify, about e-commerce, online. It's so important. People need to hear it, and I highly recommend, if anybody has any questions, Teara will take some time with you. Just click on her website to reach out to her, brightbird.ca. It's on there. Just click. I want to kind of put my last, question, just a little spin on it for rather than just straight out advice. I want to focus more on e-commerce. So if you had one tip for a small business, startup, or entrepreneur to improve their e-commerce online shopping site or process, what would that be?
Find the right partner. A lot of the times when businesses start looking at bringing in somebody to help, they'll just, do a Google search, find somebody, go to Fiverr, find somebody. If that person doesn't connect with you, if you don't feel that they understand your business, find somebody else. I've talked to so many businesses that have spent a lot of money with the wrong professional. So you don't need to necessarily go hang out at the bar for drinks and want to be socially friends, but if you don't feel like they get you, or if they don't feel like they speak your language, find somebody else to work with.
I love that. And I mean, that piece of advice goes for, a marketing person, your accountant, or, you have to trust, you have to feel that person has the best interest of your company, in mind when they're working with you, and not just saying, I'm looking to get a paycheck. Because if they look to get a paycheck and it's just not going to work out, and it's going to be a lose for you and win for them.
Yeah, or even if it's just perhaps not a good fit. There's some businesses where I know I'm not the best fit for them, and I'll let them know. There's got to be a certain click there in order for an investment to pay off. So. No,
I love it. That's some great advice, and I really appreciate you coming on today, Teara, and sharing your knowledge, sharing your e-commerce knowledge, especially. It's such a finicky space, and a lot of people just don't understand it and they have the mentality of, if you build it, they will come, and that is so far from the truth. So again, thank you so much for spending a little time with us today.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And again, thank you to Joanne and her team at Sexy AF. Click on the website in the comments section. Alcohol-free spirits, a great local product here as well. And again, I look forward to everybody talking again next week. Joy to Job is coming on. 3 high school girls talking about how they are changing the way people are looking at the jobs moving forward. So again, Teara, thanks again. And we will hopefully everybody has a great week. Bye-bye.